Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Spider Cafe. My name is Miro and it's been a while, huh? I hope I didn't forget how to talk on a camera.
Hey, everybody look at me. I'm 1 part robot and 3 parts asshole.
This is gonna be our last video from Spider Cafe 2.0 because we are moving again. We stayed in Prague, but we found our own place. So there's gonna be a small little noodle room that's gonna be all Spider Cafe / my work office. And I'm super excited for that because we're gonna be closer to nature too. We're gonna be still in Prague, but there is a dam and there's woods. So I might be able to get some cool dragonflies pictures or there's even scorpions in actually those woods. I was so surprised because when I left Czech Republic, I think we had some scorpions here, but they were like protected. So seeing them that they are right here, right now in Prague, it's pretty amazing. What I'm gonna be showing you today is gonna be a quick collection overview, some of my new invertebrates.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
And then I'm gonna show you 3 huntsmen that I really like because of the ease of their care. Because most of the huntsmen that, at least for me, when I first started in a hobby, were from tropics. And those are a little bit harder to care for. Plus they die really often when they are little slings. And those of you who've had bowies or lunulas or bois, you guys all know that. So these are 3 huntsmen. They won't die.
Come to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
No, it's are 3 huntsmen that are really easy to care and they are pretty hardy. Alright, so let's get started. I'm gonna start the updates by showing you my successful sack of Peucetia lucasi. This is the greenling spider that's from Madagascar, and I've been trying to pair these up for the longest time and it finally happened. And the babies are doing well right now. They actually growing, they already starting to eat, so I'm gonna be taking them to the next expo. This is the mama guarding the sack. And I think the trick to breeding them is make sure they get a little bit of a sunlight, a little bit of a daylight. Not a real update, but I actually caught my scorpion drinking, so I kind of figured there might be something cool to show that I didn't show in any of my shorts. So this is also actually scorpion is from Madagascar, just like the Peucetia lucasi. Here I just caught my Celadonia on a stroll. I guess she was a little thirsty. You can see like right here, this is actually her hideout. This is the trapdoor. Another one of my favorites and super colorful, this Xenestis species blue. You guys, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I paired these up with my buddy AJ in Los Angeles. Was very happy about it. Would love to repeat the success here, so we will see. So far I have 2 and they growing. Speaking of XX, this is my Heteropoda boai with a full sack. Unfortunately she ended up eating it, and not only she ate the XX, she ate the 3 males before that too. So this girl, I think I'm gonna have to steal her next XX. And I also got really cool domino roaches. They finally growing in adults. They super relaxed for actually roaches. Look at that. Right? You relax. I also got Birupes. Yeah, pretty cool. They're starting to get some colors. This is not the most recent clip. This is just right after I rehoused them into their new and big enclosure. I got a couple of baby Metallicas. They also growing. Really cool to watch. This is something rare actually in my collection. It's a Heteropoda species Ocelot green, like the cats. Here you see it with 3 fruit flies. I know it's kind of hard to believe, but they're so small. They started like this, like really like tiny, smaller than the fruit flies when I first got them, but they are excellent hunters. And they're supposed to grow like size of Heteropoda boai, so I want to say like, you know, almost like a human hand size. I ended up getting some really cool isopods, tropical isopods, and they are very beautiful. I also got a really insane amount of these emerald roaches at this point. I'm taking at least 30 of them to the expo because they're just booming in my care. So I almost don't know what to do with them right now. I'm like, this is almost too many. It's crazy to think that one of those costs 35 bucks in the United States. They're also not cheap here. They're around $5. I finally got my Philobrachys. Always been wanting to get these. They're such a stunning spiders. Can't wait for this one to grow. They're little beasts. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the collection overview, and let's start with the Huntsman. Here we have a little flashback from good old days in Los Angeles. This was the first spider cafe. And this is the enclosure that my Sabranus Huntsman had there, and basically I tried to put in, I would say 10 centimeters or more, which is like 4 inches or more of sand, and then for them something to climb on. The climbing is important. I'm gonna show you later how they mold, and they basically mold hanging down kind of like other Huntsmen. What you're seeing right now is webbing up for they like to create these trapdoors, and this is the webbing up of the trapdoor. They don't use it as like trapdoor spiders where they would like pop out of there and grab the prey. It's mostly like their retreat from heat, basically elements, in the nature. They don't eat very often. You don't have to feed them very often. I kind of have a theory that those desert species, they don't really need to eat that often, and I feel like they have blind. And yeah, that was pretty funny actually, the little fall. And I feel like they are halfway blind. The way they hunt, they usually do it by feel, kind of like most of the spiders. Once we moved to Prague, I was able to obtain this little sling, and I still have it, and I would love to actually pair it up at some point. They really are amazing spiders, and they are some of my favorites to keep because their care is so easy. The water ball that you see there, they use it sometimes. I've seen them drink, but it's very rare. But it won't hurt if you missed one side of the enclosure once a week. Basically, that should cover the care for Sabranus. And as promised, here you can see the molt. So the spider was basically hanging on the wall there and molting. I've heard from a lot of people, well, I've heard from some people.
No problem. Just call up some of my friends.
That they actually use humans or like larger mammals as a form of transportation. Like I've seen pictures of them jumping on people's ankles and just kind of like biting in hopes of being carried, to another location. And they don't envenomate or anything. They basically just use their fangs, to hold on to the transport.
Gentlemen, I give you it.
Now let's talk about Hulconia. As you may know, Australia doesn't really allow export or import, but somehow Hulconia murrayensis made it here to Europe and to United States, and I highly recommend them. It's huntsmen that are super easy to care for. They are always on the display, and they are beautiful. Okay, another one of my favorite huntsmen, and definitely for the simplicity of care again, Hulconias. These are Australian huntsmen, and in Australia they call them wall puppies, I heard. And I found it really appropriate because these guys are such a gentle giants. This footage is from when I was trying to pair them up for a first time. And since they're so mellow, I decided to do it kind of like in the open because I was hoping that I can record the whole thing. Normally, I have a different process, which I ended up doing after all, because they were pretty mellow, but once I got the male a little closer to the female and she was eating the cricket, he went after the cricket and he was trying to steal her cricket. So she dropped off the cricket, flew out of the enclosure. He ran up on my back. So of course I was doing it when I was home alone, so I had to go to the bathroom and look at myself in the mirror and try to get him in a cup. Got him in a cup from my bag, came back, and in the meantime the female found the cricket again and she was just eating it again like nothing really happened. So after that I decided that basically the best way to do it is I'm just gonna take them, put both of their enclosures open, facing each other, let them do their thing. And that's how they were for more than a week, because the female just got into his enclosure and she didn't want to leave. So I would just leave them like that for, like I said, maybe a week. From time to time at night I would hear some strange noises so I assumed that something was happening there, and now I'm just waiting if I'm gonna have babies. About their care, completely dry. You don't really need to do, any misting. I've only seen them, I raised several of them already. I only see them drink once, and it was an old male, and it was literally before he was dying. And I think they really are missing some moisture before they die. So basically that's what he was trying to get. But other than that, they run from water. Feeding them, I feed them like about once a week, appropriate size prey. They are not very shy hunters. They'll go after prey. It's really fun to watch. Overall, they're actually excellent display spiders because they are very often out. And again, their behavior is super mellow. So besides that, yeah, put some layers of cork bark there so they have places to hide, and that's about it. Super easy care. The next Huntsman is pretty rare. I actually never seen them in the United States. I see them sometimes here in Europe. And they are kind of unassuming looking, little brownish, not very exciting like some of the colorful bowies or lunulas, but they have a really interesting behavior. Today I'm gonna be rehousing one of my favorite spiders. And this is Sabranus, and I believe it's a Rechenbergi. They come from Morocco. These guys are cool because look, they create these kind of like retreats, these kind of like sleeping bags, hammocks, whatever you want to call it, and they create them up on like cork barks and stuff, but they also create them under sand. And I haven't seen them dig in, kind of like the Sabranus Huntsman, but even this is kind of cool, right? They like cover it with the sand. And the spiders themselves, you see it's hiding now in the retreat. They're not like super interesting looking, but their behavior is just something, something insane, because whenever they feel threatened, like if there is like a tarantula wasp after them, or what are they called, tarantula hawks after them, they pick up speed and then they start doing cartwheels. So these are the cartwheel spiders. So that's really cool. And I'm gonna need these enclosures for something else. That's one thing in Europe that I'm having a hard time with, is finding like a proper little plastic enclosures. I found these, but they kind of suck because you can really see through them properly. So they will definitely get one more rehouse, but for now this is gonna do. It's coming out, and so they can move surprisingly. Well, I guess not surprisingly if you know that they can pick up speed up and do cartwheels, but because they're so like they move so slow normally, you just don't expect them. He thinks it's a foot. No, but let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okie dokie. Okay. Well, that wasn't bad at all. I'm also hungry. They are excellent hunters. I just haven't got really any good footage of them hunting yet, but that needs to change. They were also so little. I mean, look how big they are right now. So you can imagine that they were tiny. And it's climbing on me now. Oh, and it's jumping, and it's on the camera. So we're not gonna see this one. Good jumper, I have to say. I'm just taking the enclosure and I'm gonna nudge it into it. And a quick promo, if you guys like my hat or any of our Spider Cafe merchandise, hit me up. We discontinued the website, but I can still get this delivered anywhere in the world, basically. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, hit the subscribe. I'm so happy actually most of you stayed with the channel. I'm gonna try to do more updates as we go. And now that we're gonna move, hopefully within the next few months I'm gonna have a little bit more time. So I hope to see you soon. Alright, see you later. Ciao.